Whee!
Stupid show with the outro that's different than every other show I do.
It's the best outro, though.
It is. It involves everyone except confused guests.
Well, lately they seem to be catching on, so they're they're in on it now.
That is true. That is very true. It's getting very hot in here. I'm going to turn on the fan. And then I'm going to change the title of this to Caution Batman v Superman spoilers.
Are there?
And I'm going to throw down with you, Dills.
Okay, well, I'll make my argument.
All right,
Recent Batman.
Hold on.
Okay.
Real quick. Everyone, if you haven't seen Batman v Superman, leave now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead, Dill. Sorry.
All right. You were like, you're upset that Batman kills people. Is that correct? Am I reading that right?
Blatantly.
Yeah.
He's clearly doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Okay. So the upset about that always confuses me because Batman has historically killed people in lots and lots of incarnations of Batman. Now, the Christopher Nolan version was very much like the Daredevil thing, can't kill people ever. That's my thing. I don't do that, and that's fine for that Batman to exist. But there are still Batmans that
the majority of Batmans that are depicted do not kill. Because it's the entire.
Why do they all have to not kill?
The entire point of Batman is that he is not going to be as bad as the person that killed his parents.
No, that's not true. That's only true for some Batmans. But Batman as a collective is not one version. Batman is at this point, Batman is like
if you
whatever you decide to make Batman in your version of Batman, you get to do that. You're allowed.
Then you made
Frank Miller's Batman literally shot a guy in the head. And that's actually the source material they're pulling from.
No, that's the source material that they're bending over and ruining.
Oh, well, sure. But that's the source material there. There's actually like shots pulled from that exact comic.
Really, though, and that's my main issue with Batman v Superman overall, is that they're like, hey, guys, look at all these scenes and imagery that we ripped off without paying any respect to or having any of the building blocks leading up to.
That's a conversation about how
no, it
shitty
is
the
not.
movie is.
No, it is not. Because everyone that is defending Batman killing and Batman v Superman have been invoking The Dark Knight Returns. And while you're not incorrect, he kills in that, and it is one of the greatest Batman comics written ever. Not arguing that. It had a lot of stuff leading up to it. It had years of comics about Batman and Superman and their friendship and what that meant and the Justice League. And Batman in that is very old. He is grizzled. He has had enough, and he's just fucking done. He is cashed out. And there is none of that. There's none of that build-up.
Batman we're supposed to be getting here, but we just didn't. They didn't explain that to us, and they didn't explain shit to us.
No, I didn't need it explained to me on a silver platter. I saw it. He's got gray hair. He's got wrinkles.
Alfred talks about how old he is now.
Yeah,
he's older than his dad, right? Like that's in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't feel they earned it.
And I really got the feeling that he's just had enough. And I didn't need him to stand up there and say, "I've had enough." I got it.
I didn't need that either. But I mean, thank you for just chalking me up to being an idiot. But
no, not at all.
No.
I think you're asking too much of.
I'm asking too much of what's his name that directed it.
No, you're asking too much for Batman to be allowed to kill. Like you need a bunch of stuff first before Batman can be allowed to kill in just a movie some guy made, right? So
right.
My argument is that when you write your own Batman, you get to do whatever you want with Batman, and that's not something that like I get to tell you how your Batman has to be. You get to decide that. The very first incarnation of Batman throws a guy into a vat of acid. And I tweeted this out the other day because I'd read this episode, a long time ago. Batman used to use a gun. His original incarnation was just a guy who just was like fighting crime. Didn't care. Had no qualms about killing. He was just a crime fighting guy, and that's, I was a detective thing. So it was a little different. As his character got a little bit more fleshed out, then they created the whole thing of his parents died. That's why he doesn't like guns, because he watched his parents get murdered with guns. And, all that kind of stuff kind of started. But that wasn't, again, like that version's okay too. And then the version you're talking about, I love that version where it's like, all these people I've been trying not to kill, I've watched them kill other people after I save them. They escape again, whatever, all this shit. Fuck it, I'm killing everybody. And like, I enjoy that Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
that
like I
Batman.
like
Fuck
again
that Batman.
for me it was just a thing of earning it, and I don't feel they earned it. And that
I agree with you there.
and I think that as a downfall of the movie persists for the whole fucking movie. Like the whole thing, like, by the way, there's all this really convenient footage of all these guys. You should totally go find for the next movie. We were all get together and pal
the
around,
movie
guys.
sucked, and I'm not arguing against that at all.
Right.
There's so many ways this movie was just like, what the fuck?
Because
What?
Like I think yes, there's been all these other incarnations of Batman that did kill. The thing with me is, there's a way I prefer my Batman, and I'm going to have that opinion.
Yeah, and you're allowed to have that for sure. But
like Batman, I feel that Batman doesn't work. Batman is at, like, he is so great and he's held to such esteem because of his villains. And I personally don't think Batman works if he does kill, because otherwise it would be over really fast. He would get an AK-47 and all those motherfuckers would be dead. Like, you don't have a comic anymore. So Batman only works if he sticks to that code. And then if you have something like The Dark Knight Returns, which is literally, like, he's about to die. He is so old. He's not sexy fucking Ben Affleck, like, I just cheated on my wife and I'm in a custody battle old. He's like fucking 70. Okay.
yeah, he's old as shit in that. For sure.
Like,
But he's still able to
that's-
pull off all of this crazy stuff. And
Yeah.
one thing that I did like about this Batman, like I actually, even now I'm thinking back on the Batman. I'm like, I liked Batman pretty much the whole way through. And even the killing stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Batman's killing now.
Well,
That's
yeah,
cool, whatever.
once I got past that, Ben Affleck
Yeah.
was my favorite thing about the damn movie. I think he was a fantastic.
But one thing I really liked about this Batman is they did capture the whole thing of like, what makes him so strong is when he's just smarter than everyone else. So
Yeah.
when he like gets time to plan and get everything set up, he could take down Superman. I mean, he won. He could have killed
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, he could have killed Superman. But of course, their moms are both named Martha, so that didn't happen.
So there now.
Yeah. By the way, a lot of people are shitting on that moment, and that moment was done really badly. But the point of it wasn't that their names were both Martha. The point was that it humanized Superman to Batman. That was the point. And a lot of people are arguing, like, and I don't think they're seeing like what Zack Snyder was going for and failed miserably to do.
It was just
which was just to have a humanizing moment.
it
between
could
the two.
have worked.
Yeah.
It could have worked. It just wasn't delivered. It wasn't crafted.
Well, they should have got rid of the whole Martha thing and just had Superman in like his final moments. He's about to die. He's weakened, and just say like, he's going to kill my mom, like what something like that. And then Batman would have realized like, oh wait a minute, like what's going on? Like there's something else going on here. But it was like everything was just done so shitty. Superman shows up and he's like, hold on, let's not fight. And then Batman's like, poof, shoot you with the thing. He's like, all right, fuck it, let's fight. He just drops the whole thing of trying to explain what's happening.
I like Zack Snyder, and I like a lot of Zack Snyder's movies. I think he's so wrong for this.
He shouldn't be like in charge of it. He should just do the directing.
Just let him do
part.
yeah. Here's the script. We're going to watch over your shoulder and tase you every time you don't fucking respect these characters. And we'll go from there.
He needs to not be in charge of like the storyboarding and the conceptualizing and all of that stuff.
Who
He needs
watched?
to leave the moment they start editing and just go the fuck away.
He's a
something
great
else.
director. He's a terrible writer. Who watched Sucker Punch and thought, let's hand this guy the keys to two of the biggest franchises in comic book history?
Get that? Yeah, that movie was just
That was
painful.
a beautiful movie. That was also the dumbest movie I have ever seen.
Yeah. I walked out of that theater being like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
I remember being
What was
extremely
that?
excited for it too. I was like, "This looks
Yeah.
awesome!"
The problem though is that we're definitely getting Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
That's already decided, right?
And it's not gonna end. You know why? Because Batman puts butts in seats.
Yeah, but you know what we're gonna see though? We are gonna see a sharp drop off here. It's funny if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Switchgear, Man of Steel with AIDS.
Yeah. So
I
if
would
you
make.
look at Rotten Tomatoes, right? Critics are panning the shit out of this movie, but most audiences are saying they liked it. It's like 70% of people are saying they liked it.
Honestly, overall, had
Yeah.
a good time. I had
It's
fun. I
fun to
liked.
watch.
I liked it better than the second Avengers. Like,
I liked it better than Man of Steel.
I liked Man of Steel better than this.
Really?
I
Man of
did
Steel
too.
put me to sleep.
Man of
Like, I
Steel
just-
was actually it had an arc that made sense and was written by people with functioning brains.
I guess, but the problem for me was I think Man of Steel was just Superman, and this one at least had Batman. And so for me, I was just like, because I felt like Superman was still like the worst part of this movie, and that's to me, it's like if Man of Steel had something else, then it would have been, I think, okay. But since it was just Superman, I was like, fuck. But you're right that it was more coherent for sure.
Yeah, it was like,
definitely arguing
it just
against that.
had a better story structure. What leaving out everything else that was wrong with it, like his dad just decided, I'm just gonna die because why
That
not?
was the stupidest thing
Or
ever.
Superman's gonna break that motherfucker's neck because he's just had enough. Like,
Yeah.
other than those things, I honestly think they were really close to having a stellar movie with Man of Steel. And
I bet you could make a really good movie out of this.
Same thing.
By just
if
chopping a shit ton out of it. Right?
Doomsday shouldn't have been in the movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually okay with Doomsday being there, but it should have been not just a tacked on thing at the end. It should have been something that got built to. And if their plan for Justice League is that it has to be the post Superman death Justice League, then it makes sense that this gets set up here. But it just felt so tacked on. It just felt like Lex Luthor was like, well, my plan of having them fight didn't work. I guess I'll just cut my hand and make a monster that I know that's going to happen. I don't know. That was
No
was just
explanation. No, like that's the thing. My issue with it overall is like, we're gonna take all these things that blew your mind as comic fans, and then we're just gonna throw them in without paying any
All into
attention to
one
why
movie.
they were cool in the first place.
Yeah. And you know what I didn't like too? Like, I loved Wonder Woman, but what the fuck was her motivation to like do anything? That was like never explained, right? Like, why was she at the party?
Super convenient.
Well, she was at
placement.
the party because she was there for the exact same reason that Batman was. She wanted to get the information off Lex's servers because she knew that he had the picture of her that exposed her as
Okay.
yeah.
But then why the fuck did she come back to fight Doomsday? Why the fuck did she care about any of that other shit? Like, what was her motive? Like, just, oh, I'm a Wonder Woman? That's what I
Clearly
do?
she hearts Batman.
Duh.
She got the email and was like, huh.
They had like one interaction before that.
And didn't you love Batman after your first
I don't know, man.
Ben Affleck scene?
I need a couple conversations before I just go fighting fucking godly monsters and shit, you know? Like,
You need to take him out to
I
dinner
think
first. Is what he's saying.
She saw the news footage when she was on the plane, right? So
no,
I think she
I
kind of
understood
went,
like that she saw that it was going on and was like, I
Yeah.
gotta go help. But
Yeah.
she was her storyline was that for essentially 100 years she was like off the face of the earth, not doing anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that all of a sudden she's like, wait, I'm Wonder Woman. What the fuck? I should be helping out. But if that's her deal, wouldn't she have showed up when Zod was around? Wouldn't she have showed up when like anything has happened before this?
Well,
or
I mean,
all of a sudden she changed her mind.
That's an argument you can make about every Marvel movie, because it's like, well, the Avengers are a thing. Why don't they all show up anytime shit hits the fan instead of letting just Iron Man and Iron Man 3?
Well, yeah, but they
down.
spent time setting up why that is, because at first they weren't together, right?
Right.
And then over time, now they do. Now they all show up whenever some shit goes down. I get that because there's an arc to that. But this was like she showed up, tried to steal the thing from Lex, saw Batman from across the room.
Their eyes met.
And all of a sudden, fuck it, I'm in. I'm all in. I'm gonna fucking lasso Doomsday. Let's go. I don't know. It just seemed too sudden. And that's
Oh my
that's the
god, when
problem.
that happened, I was like, oh no, now Doomsday has to tell the truth?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm mad because I don't have a dick.
I'm mad because I look like
a dick.
I'm-
Even Dr. Manhattan got a dick.
he got a 50-foot dick at one point. The Doomsday monster design.
But that inherently was the problem with the whole movie, right? Is that shit just happened, and like there was no fucking rhyme or reason, and it just like it went, and there was no expositional shot to move to the next scene. It was just like one guy would be talking, and then all of a sudden now another guy's talking in another place, and we're in another scene, and there was no like logical cut point that made that happen to us. Like, I don't know. It was weird. It was jarring and bizarre, right?
It's strange.
And I hated everything that they did with Lois Lane. I don't particularly like Amy Adams in that role anyway, But it's like they tacked on this weird African subplot just to give her something to do. Like,
And killed Jimmy Olsen, which was the dumbest thing ever. I'm sorry, am I missing the part where Jimmy Olsen was a CIA agent? Did I miss that in the comics?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything like that ever happening. I remember Jimmy
No.
Olsen being like a snotty little, or like a bratty little news guy, and then he grew into a friend of Clark Kent and eventually Superman, but never a CIA agent, as far as I know.
And I didn't even like recognize that actor that like I was supposed to know who he was or anything. It was just like, oh, random dude with Lois is dead now. Okay, moving on.
Also, why the fuck did Lex Luthor kill his like right hand woman? Did you notice that too?
Oh
No.
yeah,
The
in the
fucking
explosion.
Senate,
Yeah.
and her name is like Mercy or something in the comics,
Oh, right.
and she was just in the fucking room and just died. Like, why wouldn't Lex Luthor be like, "Yo, my assistant, why you know, let me just
didn't
tell you
need
what's
her
going
anymore.
down. I'm gonna fucking blow all these people up
Because
okay?
he's insane.
There.
By the way, I actually really dug Jesse Eisenberg in this movie.
A lot of people hated him.
I-
I was indifferent. I didn't.
I
really-
liked him. I liked him. I'm not sure I liked him as Lex Luthor. Like, if you threw a Riddler costume on him, maybe it would have, like, the portrayal would have made more sense. But,
I was indifferent. I didn't hate him. I didn't love him. I would just, you know, whatever. He's Lex Luthor. I get it. Again, though, I think a lot of people were concerned with his motivations. And, you know, always to me, his motivations were pretty much just that he hates Superman, right? And but there is a reason for him hating Superman. I think that was kind of skipped over. Like, it was just that he didn't like how powerful he was in this movie.
Yeah.
the movie just had no room to breathe at all. There was no room for any character beats to explain why the hell anyone was the way they were. Like,
Except all those fucking dream sequences, which can we just never have another dream sequence ever, please?
Well, it was dream sequence, like into dream sequence.
Oh,
Dream sequence.
into maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't a dream
with
sequence
random portal lightning dude.
with the Flash.
Well, that's the Flash, and that's not
okay.
random. That's a thing that happens.
Yeah, the Flash-
problem was that the way they did it was he went from a dream sequence, then the Flash like comes out,
to a
and
dream.
then he wakes up.
Then he wakes
after the
up, yeah.
Flash.
So it was, yeah.
But
it
then
was-
papers are wrestling, so you know that wasn't a dream sequence because the papers are still wrestling in the room.
See, I didn't get that though. I just thought
Yeah.
that he was dreaming about random portal guy, and like
Yeah.
he was random portal guy in a way that I couldn't tell he was Flash. And even when they showed me images of Flash later on in the movie, I still didn't make that connection.
Well, you never
'cause it
saw
was
him
so
in
well,
weird. suit.
that's because I was
Yeah.
thinking of the actor that plays him on the TV show. And I'm like, why does the Flash have this creepy mustache all of a sudden? Like, what the hell?
But
Not
it was
aerodynamic.
something that people who read those comics, I think it's the Flashpoint comics, I think is what it is, where Flash does like he can go back in time and change alter things.
Well, yeah, because if
goes
he
so
if he
fast, right?
moves
he
fast enough,
figures out how to manipulate like
Yeah.
space
But
and
if you
time.
don't know about that, that was just fucking weird.
yeah, it was so weird.
Again.
Oh my god.
Too much in one, way too much in one.
Yeah.
This should have been 3 movies. Like,
Really? Yeah, they could have
Like,
actually had
they-
time to.
they should have done the
stuff.
Marvel thing. There should have been Batman should have gotten his own movie. Superman should have gotten a second movie, and that led into Batman v Superman. Then give Wonder Woman her own movie, and then Flash his own movie, and then Aquaman his own movie. Even though it's fucking Aquaman, and no one would go
Oh
see
god,
it.
the Aquaman shot was so weird.
Ugh.
It should have
I
been
was
him
so
from
excited.
far away, like trying to hide from the camera and getting caught. Instead, it was like literally him just like, "Hey, what's up,
Time
camera?
for a
Is that
selfie."
camera?" And then, like, I'm out.
And I
Oh,
was so
fuck that
excited for that actor to like see him as I'm like I am actually excited about Aquaman because I like that actor. And then like the time I've spent looking at his poster, not in a weird creepy way, is like more than the time he got in that movie. Like
Well, the point wasn't like give them time. That scene should have been the post-credit scene, right? That whole thing, because it would have made much more sense as a
That
like,
would have been
little
cool,
snippety post-credit scene. But just chucked into the movie itself, it was like just felt weird and awkward and didn't like. Okay, so Batman emails Wonder Woman. That's fucking weird. First of all, they're not supposed to email each other. There's got to be some sort of secret bat phone that she calls or something. He's like, I found, and also, did Lex Luthor, is that part of the story that he designed all their logos? Because I don't feel like that's how it works either. Like, is that actually part of the story? Lex Luthor was like, I found this woman. She's a Wonder Woman.
Wonderful.
I'm going to put 2 W's on top of each
She's a
other.
wonder.
I found this guy, the Flash. Oh, man, lightning bolts are fast. I think I'm going to put a lightning bolt on this folder. What the fuck?
Yeah, I love it. It's in the chat room. It was an intern. Lex has an intern. He's like, hey, man, could you come up with some cool-ass logos to organize these guys in
Oh, God.
for our proprietary OS that doesn't just have a folder with a name?
Yeah. It's just funny because for a movie that I actually sat there and enjoyed, and I tweeted after, I'm like, it's fine. So many things later on you can look at
It's
and just
really
rip apart.
Dumb. It's so dumb. They fucked up so hard.
It was entertaining-ish, like I really, really liked every single scene that had Batman in it. The Batman fight scenes that were so much like the Arkham games.
The one fight scene.
Amazing.
the one fight scene, the whole movie he got. Well, I mean,
Well,
Yeah, but,
Batman
like,
saving Martha was the most. That was like the best scene.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
the whole movie. That was it, and we saw it in a trailer.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I've been avoiding movie trailers as a whole. I actually saw the Civil War trailer in the theater last night, and I was kind of pissed off because I've been
that trailer
trying
doesn't
to avoid
spoil-
everything.
Yeah. That trailer doesn't spoil everything. It gives a lot of little clues, but every trailer should be like the Suicide Squad trailer and just stop fucking showing us actual scenes. Just show a bunch of random shit happening, cut it to some really epic music, and just give us a look at what everything's going to look like and what the characters are going to look like. That'll get me excited. But yeah, stop just showing me that fucking Doomsday's in it and Wonder Woman's in it and Spider-Man's in it and
All of the action movies are starting to do what I find comedy movies do. Like, I stopped enjoying comedy movies because all the best jokes are in the trailers. It's like now all the best action scenes and all the best heroes and villains are in the trailer. Like, you don't even need to go anymore.
The trailer shouldn't be Cliff Notes, right? It
Yes,
shouldn't be so I can
exactly.
cheat on the test. It should be just to get me a little excited. The Warcraft trailers that we're getting so far aren't showing shit, and it's great because I don't want to fucking know.
they're showing just enough to get me stoked as shit.
Yeah, they're just giving me what the world's gonna look like, and that's all I need, dude. Like, that's all I need. That's all I want. I want to look at it and be like, I wonder what the fuck that is. But the Batman vs Superman trailer, I was like, that's Wonder Woman. Oh, that's Doomsday. Oh, that's Batman and Superman fighting. Okay, and then when you watch the movie, the cool moments weren't cool anymore, right? So, I'm supposed to freak the fuck out when Wonder Woman shows up out of nowhere in her fucking all of her Wonder regalia. Right?
There was applause in the theater I went to see it in.
Really?
When,
Did you see it yeah, because my theater didn't applaud at all, and I was like, this should I think they're setting it up as an applause moment,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, yeah, okay, I saw this already.
No, the back half of the theater was and the front was just like, come on, guys, didn't you watch a fucking trailer?
Yeah, really? Yeah, when we saw Batman vs Superman, the Civil War trailer played, and 3 guys went woo when Spider-Man showed up, and we were all just like, what?
Again,
You didn't know?
don't you guys have the internet?
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
Don't you have nothing
You
better
were
to do
3
like
guys
I
that
do,
haven't
but
seen the
watch
trailer.
trailers all day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
But no, it's a shame because that moment wasn't cool. Do you bleed? You will wasn't cool because we'd already seen it. All that shit should have been awesome, and it just wasn't. You were just like, oh yeah, here's that part. Here
Yeah.
it comes. There it is.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Stop doing
I
that,
don't know.
movies.
You know what I like? I like Ben Affleck as Batman. Give it to a different person to run the movie.
Well, I don't think that Zack Snyder's doing the Batman movies, right? He's doing the Justice League, but they're going to
No, I
do
think
some
Ben
Batman
Affleck
movies too.
is actually directing the Batman movie, isn't he?
Ben
Oh,
Affleck
Ben
is going to
Affleck
write and
is?
direct them.
I think so.
If that's the case, those are going to fucking rule.
Get different writers. Ben Affleck, go get the writers that you worked on with for The Town. Get those guys.
Didn't he just write it? I thought he,
He
wrote
did.
that.
Did he
I
write
thought
The
he
Town?
did, yeah.
Oh, I thought he worked with someone.
No, he Argo is amazing. He wrote and directed that.
Yeah, well, he had stuff to work off of on Argo.
True.
Oh,
He
true.
wrote
But he's
something
a
that
good
actually
writer.
happens.
I mean, that's how he came into
Because
the
in the
business.
chat room is saying Batman's directing them. Ben Affleck is directing them, but his friend.
Oh, his friend is writing. Matt
Yeah.
Damon, you mean?
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Hey, all right.
Good friend, right?
I'm in.
No, Matt Damon's gonna be Robin.
I
Don't
know.
worry.
I know. Oh God, Jesus. That would be the best thing. That'd be the best, worst thing ever.
By the way, we all agree that new Joker is Jason Todd, right? Are you guys familiar with that story?
Jason Todd.
Yeah, which is second Robin, who died at the hands of Joker, and then
Oh, well, he became the Red
died,
Hood.
but got corrupted by the second
He became the
Joker,
Red Hood.
essentially turned into Joker.
He didn't become. Jason Todd became the Red Hood, not the Joker.
One of the guys became Joker, essentially. Well, not necessarily Joker, but
No. Jason Todd became the Red Hood, and he became a villain. He just started
Yeah.
running around with guns, acing people.
but that's
He kind of turned into almost like the Punisher, more or less.
yeah. No, I know about the Red Hood, but I thought there was a certain point where he was also Joker, or like second Joker.
I don't think so.
Let's see if I can.
I could be mistaken. I'm not the most diehard comic fan.
Yeah,
Um,
people in the chat can probably tell us, but
Jason.
yes, I think Jason Todd is Joker in Suicide Squad. Yeah, but he's not necessarily like Joker. He's like wannabe Joker. It's not that he actually is Joker. But I want to find out exactly how that worked in the comics, because there is that story.
This is why, like, chat room right now is why I find comics so confusing. It's like, no, Jason Todd is Joker in Suicide Squad, but Joker is Brainiac, and like all these like different people taking on different roles and stuff. It just makes my brains leak out my ears.
This is the thing though about DC Comics that I think separates Marvel a little bit, is that Marvel seems a little more grounded and DC seems a little more like fucking everything can happen whenever, you know, and like every character can die and come back and this and that, and we bring this thing in and that thing in, and it doesn't fucking matter. And it's just super fantastical, and that's fine.
And it all
Just in a movie, it has to be explained that that's what's happening, because it's in a comic, like there's literally a fucking little box that says, "By the way, this fucking happened."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we don't get that in a movie. Someone has to like say it. out
It all
loud.
depends too, like on how it, like, just the treatment, right? Because a lot of the DC heroes, like, you know, a lot of it doesn't work unless you get like kind of operatic with it. Like a lot of the Alex Ross stuff, because like he draws them like Greek gods, and then the story is pretty much it's like gods fighting, and it works there. They can have those cheesy, just kind of spandex suits, just because the way it's just handled. But then you have all these other DC comics that have Batman, and it plays out just like The Dark Knight. You know, it's very grounded. There's just been so many different takes on it in DC, and I guess that's true of Marvel as well. I mean, you have shit like Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, no, I know that Marvel also is fantastical and whatever, but it just seems like their stories I just feel a little more. There's more heroes in Marvel that are just like a dude who's strong and smart.
Yeah,
And like Batman's are like the only one. You
and
know?
even when they get crazy with like their kind of, you know, interstellar shit like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thanos and that stuff, I feel like they're better at having a through line that you can still follow.
Yeah. DC just like kind of just goes off the fucking rails, and I'm fine with that. But it works better, I think, in the comic medium, and that's the problem that like a movie like this totally had that problem where I could just kind of anything could just sort of fucking happen in a comic, and I roll with it. But when it happens in a movie, it's like, you better explain this. You better tell me why this is a thing. Like, you better not just fucking cut your hand, bleed into a fucking pool of water, and create a monster. Like, it doesn't play, right? And that's, I think, an issue.
I kind of got that, and then how Lex Luthor kind of went a little bit more crazy, because, like, they did very, very briefly say, like, it was the part of the ship that was like the archives and had all of the knowledge from 100,000 worlds or whatever. So there's
actually a scene, I don't know if you guys saw it, that got cut out where you see him as he's getting arrested speaking with a crazy ass monster that's from Darkseid's planet, and they cut that out, and that probably would have been good exposition to explain what the fuck is going on.
There's a lot of places that could use a little exposition and character building in this movie, but even though the first half seems so slow, but I also feel like I learned nothing.
Sure. Sure. One thing a lot of people are pissed about is that we had to see the Batman like origin again, kind of.
Oh, whatever.
I thought that was fine because they were just kind of like rebooting Batman.
That was one of my favorite things about it, because we finally got the Zack Snyder, you know, montage take on Batman's origin.
But then honestly, I was so confused until like because when the bats started coming and they were like carrying up the well, I was like,
and you're like, what
wait,
the fuck?
what? And then I was like, this has got to be this has got to be a dream. Like, please let this be a dream.
Also,
but that was really just to say, okay, we rebooted Superman with Man of Steel, but we haven't done that to Batman. So here's that. Now that's out of the way. There's Batman, right? And that was like kind of why it was there. But again, because of how the movie was cut and everything, it was just jarring to a lot of people. But but it's fine. We've seen it a million times. I could see it one more time. Batman's parents dying. It's just, it has to happen, right?
Except the pearls.
It's
But
always
that's part of
always the
comic
pearls. There's
version
always
of it, you know?
pearls.
Yeah,
No,
Always.
no, I
pearls
know,
are
but-
part of it.
Real pearls have knots in between each individual pearl so that when the strand breaks, you don't lose all your freaking pearls.
Oh, well, I didn't.
Yeah,
I had
so
no
I
idea
like
about
myself,
pearl
I was like-
technology. I didn't realize.
Well, then that's an issue with every Batman ever.
Oh, I know. I know.
Because the Waynes definitely
Just
could
throwing it out
afford
there. I
real
thought she was
pearls.
rich.
Man, dude, these pearls are bullshit.
I didn't know that, and thank you, Jocelyn, for giving me one more thing to be angry about.
You're very welcome.
Not only for this Batman, for every Batman movie ever made.
Oh my god!
What the hell was I?
I
gonna
love
say?
now we're having a big Robin conversation, and
Also,
in the chat.
Batman's dad is the comedian / Negan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that yeah? It was,
I-
by the way, his comedian was epic. I loved his.
I
comedian.
really like Watchmen. Can I just like unequivocally? I love that movie. I know
Yeah.
a lot
Oh,
of
I love that
nerds
movie
are like,
too.
Wait,
ah,
there were two that came out like at the same time.
Watchmen.
Watchmen. No,
No, there's one Watchmen.
there's one Watchmen.
Weren't there like two dark superhero-y things that came out around the same time that were like the same?
There's
Well, I think
Watchmen,
Watchmen and the
s-
Dark Knight weren't that far apart. Were they?
There was this.
No, that's
are you
not what I'm
thinking,
thinking
Are you
about.
thinking of the Spirit, which looked like Sin City,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
and nothing like Watchmen in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah. No, I enjoy Watchmen. I understand that it's, but there's something that happens, I think, to comic book readers when they go see these movies, and that is that they find every reason to shit on them. And I generally just go in there and just enjoy it. And I thought that movie was totally enjoyable, really done well.
And I think it was really, except for the ending, it was really faithful to Watchmen. I mean, it was pretty much beat
Yeah.
for beat the comic.
Outside of the ending, but
they
the
changed
ending,
the ending, and honestly, I think the ending in the,
the ending
comics
wouldn't
kind of
have played
stupid.
on a movie.
It's a
Like,
giant tentacle vagina. You're not
Yeah.
going to do that in a movie. That's stupid.
yeah. I don't think the ending of the comic Watchmen would have worked in a movie, and I think that they made a good choice to alter it in a way that made more sense. And it actually had, I thought it created a new scene. Like when I watch Walking Dead, the show, I'm glad when it's slightly different from the comic. I'm glad when things happen that are faithful, but I'm also glad when things happen that are different so that I'm not literally just watching the comic version with actors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like. I mean,
I like it to be slightly
I
different.
like it when it's good and it's different.
Yeah.
Daryl being the like the freaking golden star example of that. And Merle.
Oh God, Daryl.
Oh, whatever.
Don't say
You know what?
Daryl.
Fuck you, Walking Dead. 2 bullshit cutaways in the same season. Go fuck yourself. That is the
know,
cheapest
right?
like ratings grab I've ever seen. You've done it twice in the same season.
Well, here's the thing. What's funny to me about Walking Dead at this point is I'm like, you guys know we're all gonna fucking watch next week, right?
That was
Like, you
exactly.
don't
I
have
turned to
do
Katie
this.
and said the same thing. I'm like, AMC knows we're gonna watch this anyway, right? Like they don't need to pull this shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not gonna not tune in because I'm not scared of someone's imminent, death. I'm gonna tune in regardless. But whatever. If they fucking end this season finale with like some massive cliffhanger to the next season, that's not just like it should just set up the next season without a fucking cliffhanger. We don't need the cliffhanger.
I think haven't they already said like
I know they're
cliffhanger?
going to do something, but
And
I'm okay with the
apparently-
cliffhanger. Like they're fucking with the wrong people. I'm okay with that because that just sets up. That's not necessarily like a cliffhanger. Like someone's under a fucking dumpster. You know what I mean? Like that's different. That's fine. But if they're all on their knees and he's doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then the fucking season ends, I'm gonna fucking flip a goddamn whatever. We'll lose it, and I may not be back. Just saying.
Yeah.
You guys are in for it though. If you haven't gotten this far in the comic, I'm excited to talk to you guys.
No, I haven't. But I'm also remembering a key scene with the governor where basically the same scene happened but with a different character. So I'm like, they could pull the same shit with whatever you're alluding to with this.
Yeah,
No,
I
believe-
that a lot. I think
yeah,
it's
that's the
switching
thing. It's like the character
characters.
is up in the air still, right?
Yeah.
The thing.
I would like Walking Dead to get to a point though where every season finale isn't like, oh, someone big died, because now
Yeah.
I'm just expecting it. I'm like, oh, it's a season finale. We're gonna call the cast, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
So I wouldn't mind being surprised in that something big happens, but it's not just a death. So
I should actually do that. I should buy like a tiny table and have it in front of me as I watch this Walking Dead finale.
Just in
And
case
just be like,
you need to
I'm
flip
ready.
something.
I'm gonna fucking flip this table. Better not do it.
yep. Well, all right, cool. Well, chat room. Those of you that stuck around, cool. Actually, look, we didn't lose very many viewers. Apparently, a lot of you went to go see Batman versus Superman, or you don't give a flying shit, which is totally okay. Yeah, honestly could probably wait for it to come out on DVD.
Holy shit! Yeah, there's still 100 people in here.
Yeah.
watching us do our Batman v Superman epic rant.
Well,
podcast episode.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'm gonna go eat. I guess.
Yeah, me
actually,
too.
Actually, I
I'm
think
definitely gonna go eat.
if it's not
Zix,
raining.
I think I'm gonna go get some fucking tacos, man. I'm gonna call you right now.
See you, folks.
Later, dudes.
Okay.